Bible in a year, making it easier to understand.
And the hammer just crack hits the floor. And suddenly, this troublemaker kid is staring at something that would eventually make every headline in the world of history.
Wait, stop! John, you have to back up. You're doing that thing where you start the movie in the middle of a high-speed chase. Who is the kid? Where are we? And why are we talking about a hammer in a Bible study?
Okay. Full context. We are in 1979. Hinnom Valley, Jerusalem. It is hot, it is dusty, and an archaeologist named Gabriel Barkay is digging in these ancient burial caves on a cliffside. Now, if you've ever been on a dig, you know there's a lot of busy work. And Barkay has this 13-year-old volunteer named Nathan.
13? So, basically, a middle schooler with a trowel?
Exactly. And Nathan was, let's just say he was energetic, a bit of a distraction to the serious work. So, to keep him occupied and out of the way, Barkay sends him to this tiny, cramped nook in the back of Cave 24. He tells him, "Go clean the rock floor. Make it spotless." It was supposed to be a dead end. The archaeologist thought the room had been looted centuries ago because the roof had collapsed.
Oh, I can see where this is going. You give the bored kid the task that doesn't matter, and that's exactly where the treasure is hiding.
Nathan takes it a step further. He doesn't just clean the floor. He starts banging on it with a hammer. And he realizes the floor isn't the bottom. It's a false floor created by the collapsed ceiling. He breaks through, and beneath him is over 2 feet of artifacts that haven't seen the sun since the days of the Judean kings. We're talking 2,600 years ago. Stephanie, that gives me chills. Imagine being that kid, reaching into the dust and realizing you're the first person to touch these things since before the Babylonian exile. In the middle of all the gold earrings and iron arrowheads, Nathan finds these 2 tiny corroded metal cylinders. They looked like, and I'm not kidding, corroded cigarette butts. They were 99% pure silver, but they were so fragile that museums in England and Germany literally refused to touch them. They said, "If we try to unroll these, they will crumble into dust."
So what happened? Did they just sit in a box?
It took 3 years of research and specialized laboratory work in Israel to finally unroll them. And when they did, they found tiny, microscopic lines of ancient Hebrew script. And guess what was written on those silver amulets?
I'm guessing it's what we are reading today in Numbers chapter 6.
Boom! The priestly blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. These silver scrolls are the oldest surviving copies of the Bible ever found. They predate the Dead Sea Scrolls by 500 years. People were wearing these words around their necks while Solomon's temple was still standing.
That is just incredible. It's like God left a physical receipt in the dirt to prove that these words aren't just late-night campfire stories. But before we get into the blessing, we have to talk about the first half of this chapter. It's the riddle of Numbers 6, the Nazirite vow. And John, honestly, to a modern seeker today, it sounds like the most extreme life hack or detox ever attempted.
Oh, it is the ultimate spiritual reset. Here's the plain English version. Usually, if you wanted to be super holy in Israel, you had to be born a priest or a Levite. But number 6 is God saying, anyone can have this. It's the democratization of holiness. A man or a woman could take this vow.
I love that. It wasn't just for the religious elite, but the rules. John, they are tough. If I told you today that you had to stop eating raisins and never cut your hair again, you'd think I was crazy.
The Hebrew word for this vow is pala, which means to do something extraordinary or wonderful. It's the same root word used for miracles. So this wasn't just a promise. It was a high-stakes commitment to live as a counter-priesthood right in the middle of the camp. Let's look at the context of where Israel is. They've been at Mount Sinai for a year. They've got the 10 Commandments. They've built the tabernacle. Now they are about to start moving into the wilderness.
So, as they're packing up their tents, God gives them this option for a deeper dive into his presence?
Yes, and it came with 3 hard-no restrictions. First, no grapes, no wine, no grape juice, not even a raisin cookie. Second, no razor, no haircuts. Your hair became a walking billboard for your devotion. Third, no dead bodies, not even for your own parents. Stephanie, wait, hold on. The grape thing sounds like a modern sugar and alcohol detox. In that culture, wine was everything. It was at every wedding, every feast, every Sabbath. By saying no to the fruit of the vine, you were basically opting out of the party culture to focus on something deeper, right? Exactly. It was a radical appetite shift. And the hair. I call it the verified blue check mark of the ancient world. If you saw someone with wild, untended hair, you didn't think, oh, they need a barber. You thought, that person is in a season of intense focus on God. It was visible. It provided instant, public accountability.
And the no dead bodies part? That feels heavy, especially the part about your own family.
It's about choosing the realm of life over the realm of death. It was a picture that their relationship with God, their consecration, was even more sacred than their most intense human grief. But here's the kicker. If someone dies very suddenly beside you, the whole vow is annulled. You have to shave your head, offer a sacrifice, and restart the clock. Stephanie. So, it's not just about trying hard, it's about guarding your heart because life happens. Holiness isn't accumulated capital. It has to be freshly pursued every day. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to look at the modern mirror, how this vow actually connects to your favorite main character energy, and why Samson was basically a walking grammar fail of number 6.
I can't wait to hear how Spock and Samson end up in the same conversation. We'll be right back.
And we are back. Stephanie, before the break, we were teasing this modern mirror for the Nazirite vow. And I have to start with the most famous, or maybe I should say infamous, Nazirite of all time. We're talking about the man, the myth, the massive hair legend, Samson.
Oh, poor Samson. I feel like he's the cautionary tale for the entire book of Numbers. Every time I read his story, I just want to reach into the pages and give him a nudge. Like, Samson, did you even read the manual in chapter 6?
He definitely skipped the orientation. Here's the deal. Samson is the ultimate example of someone who had the outward sign, but completely ignored the inward heart. He had the long hair, right? That was his verified blue check mark. Everyone saw it. But he was a walking violation of every other rule in number 6.
It's like that modern mirror we always talk about. He's the guy in the group chat who has the perfect aesthetic, the spiritual bio, and posts the blessed photos. But behind the scenes, his life is a total mess of compromises.
Exactly. Think about it. Number 6 says, no dead bodies. What does Samson do? He kills a lion with his bare hands, and then, this is the gross part, he goes back later to eat honey out of its rotting carcass. He's literally snacking on death. And the no wine rule? He's constantly at these wild Philistine parties where the wine is flowing like a river. He thought the hair was a magic charm that gave him strength, rather than a symbol of a relationship that required discipline.
That is such a massive point, John. I think a lot of modern seekers fall into that trap. We think if we have the Christian accessories, the right necklace, the right playlists, the right church look, then we're good. But number 6 shows that God is after the separation of the heart, not just the length of the hair.
Right. And this brings us to the Olympic athlete analogy. Imagine an Olympic swimmer. They don't stay out of the pool because they hate water. They stay out of the junk food aisle so they can win the gold. Consecration isn't about being a fun killer. It's about spiritual training. You're saying no to a good thing, like a grape or a haircut, so you can say yes to the best thing, God's presence.
I love that. It shifts the perspective from legalism to intentionality. It's about creating sacred space. But John, I have to ask the 5th grade rule question because this confused me for years. What is the difference between a Nazirite and a Nazarene? Because people use those words like they're the same thing.
Oh, this is a classic text message summary moment. Ready? A Nazarene is someone from the town of Nazareth. That was Jesus' hometown. A Nazirite is someone who took the number 6 vow. Jesus was a Nazarene, but he was not a Nazirite.
Wait, explain that. Because wouldn't Jesus be the ultimate consecrated person?
He was. But that's the beautiful, deeper dive here. Jesus didn't need the rules of the Nazirite vow because he was the holiness the vow was trying to point to. Think about it. Jesus drank wine at the wedding in Cana. He touched the dead, like Jairus' daughter. But he didn't become unclean. Instead, his cleanliness made them alive. He fulfilled the heart of the vow, total, 100% devotion to the Father, without needing to stay away from the messy, broken people who needed him.
That is so powerful. It means the separation God is asking for isn't meant to make us better than other people or isolated from them, but to make us ready for Him. It's like clearing the clutter off your desk so you can actually do the work you were made for.
Exactly. And for our modern seekers who are all about that soft life or main character energy right now, here's the twist. The soft life in modern culture is about avoiding stress and finding comfort. But the soft life in number 6 is about finding rest in God's sovereignty. It's realizing that the main character of your story isn't you. It's the one who is about to speak the blessing over you.
You mean the priestly blessing?
Yes. But look at the restart clause in verse 12 one more time. It says, if you fail, if you accidentally touch something dead, the previous days don't count. You have to start over. At first, that sounds so harsh, right? Like, God, I did 29 days of a 30-day fast and I messed up at the last minute.
I would be so frustrated. I'd be like, can I just get partial credit?
But it's actually a grace clause. It says failure isn't final. You don't get kicked out of the camp. You offer a sacrifice. You shave your head and you get a fresh start. In the modern mirror, this is the delete and restart button. It teaches us that holiness isn't accumulated capital we store up to impress God. It's a relationship we freshly pursue every single morning.
Sin interrupts, but it doesn't have to terminate your consecration. That is the message someone needs to hear today. Maybe they've messed up their New Year's resolution, or they've fallen back into an old habit. Number 6 says, shave the head, bring the offering, and let's go again.
And that go again energy is exactly what leads us to the most famous words in the whole book. Because once you've reset, God doesn't just look at you with a I'm watching you glare. He looks at you with a shining face.
Are we finally going to talk about the knight's helmet and the medieval visor salute?
We are, but we're going to do it right after we take a quick breather. Go grab some water or some non-grape juice, and we'll be right back for the Anatomy of Shalom.
Non-grape juice. Got it. We'll be right back.
And we are back from our break. Stephanie, before we left, I promised you a knight's helmet, and I always deliver on my medieval promises.
It's true. You're very consistent with the armor metaphors. So, what does a medieval knight have to do with the priestly blessing from 1400 BC?
It's all about the visor salute. In the Middle Ages, when two knights met on a dusty road, they would reach up and lift the metal visor on their helmet. It was a way of saying, I'm showing you my face so you know I'm a friend, not an enemy. It was a gesture of friendly intent. And that is the absolute heart of the Hebrew word barak, which we translate as bless in verse 24.
So, when we say the Lord bless you, we're essentially asking God to raise His visor to us. That is a much cooler image than just a generic good luck wish.
Exactly. But here's the deeper dive kicker. Barak doesn't just have one meaning. In Hebrew, it's like a Swiss Army knife of a word. There are actually 6 basic layers to what it means when God blesses us. Let's break these down because they change everything.
6 meanings? Okay, I'm ready. Let's list them out. John. 1. To salute. God showing His friendly identity to you. 2. To kneel down. This is my favorite. It's the image of God bending down to a child's level to give them a gift. 3. To kiss on the mouth. A sign of deep, covenant intimacy. 4. To speak words of excellence. God declaring your worth and your future over the noise of the world. 5. To make peace, establishing harmony where there was conflict. 6. To cause to prosper, bringing fruitfulness to your actual, everyday work. The Lord won't bless who you pretend to be. That line from the research hit me so hard, John. If we want that salute or that kiss of intimacy, we have to raise our own visors too. We have to stop curating the perfect version of ourselves and just show up in the dirt of the wilderness.
Yes, and notice the structure of the blessing. It's like an ascending staircase. Line 1 has 3 Hebrew words. Line 2 has 5. Line 3 has 7. It's literally growing in weight and power as it's spoken. Line 1, the Lord bless you and keep you. That word keep is shamar. It means to hedge in or to build a fortress around. It's God acting as your personal security detail in a dangerous world.
And then line 2, the Lord make His face shine on you. John, you mentioned the glow up earlier. Is that what's happening here?
It's the ultimate glow up. The Hebrew word is yair. Think of it this way. The opposite of a shining face is a hiding face. We've all been there. When someone is mad at you, they turn away. They ghost you. But here, God is glowing, not glaring. He's leaning in with a radiant smile.
That leads to line 3, which has always confused me a little. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you. I always thought, wait, isn't God in heaven looking down on us? Why does he have to lift up his face? John? Stephanie, this is the most heart moment of the whole chapter. Think about a father with his toddler. To really look into that child's eyes with pure joy, the father doesn't just look down. He reaches down, picks the child up, and lifts them high above his head. In that moment, the father is looking up at the child, and the child is looking down at him. That is the lifting up of countenance. It's a picture of God's full pleasure and goodwill being beamed directly at you. I have to jump in with the pop culture gem here. I found out that Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock himself, actually based the Vulcan salute on this. He saw the priests in his synagogue making the shin gesture with their hands while they said these very words. Live long and prosper is basically a sci-fi riff on number 6.
The final frontier meets the wilderness of Sinai. I love it. But the final word of the blessing is the one everyone knows, shalom. And in the modern mirror, we usually think peace means no drama or quiet time. But in Hebrew, shalom means restoration back to the original state. It's completeness. It's wellness. It's your soul being put back together after the wilderness has tried to tear it apart.
And God says that by doing this, the priests put my name on the people. It's like a signature of ownership, right?
Exactly. It's the official seal that says you belong to me.
Wow. From 2,600-year-old silver cigarette butts found by a teenager to a God who lifts us up like a proud father. This has been quite the day 60, John.
It really has. Here's the text message summary for today. Whether you're taking a big vow of focus or just need a fresh start, God's face is shining on you, and he is personally invested in your shalom.
And your action step for today? We're calling it the Nazirite Minute. Pick one legitimate pleasure today. Maybe it's your afternoon soda, your social media scrolling, or your favorite snack, and set it aside for just a few hours. Not to be legalistic, but to create a sacred space, to tell God, I'm raising my visor to you.
And as you do that, listen for the whisper of the blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. We are so proud of you for hitting day 60. You are gathering to your people in the best way possible. Stephanie. We'll see you tomorrow for day 61. May the Lord make his face shine on you today. And don't forget, raisins are totally fine tomorrow.
John!